welcome to everyone. I know that I speak for the District Interact Committee and certainly all of our interactors when I say that we are super excited to be here at this final leg of our 2023 Green Spaces and Happy Spaces environmental competition. A wonderful collaboration between the District Interact Committee and the District Environmental Sustainability Committee, created in honor of our now PDG, Leslie Ramdani. I am the District Interact Chair and District Governor nominee, Soraya Warner-Gustav, from the Rotary Club of St. Lucia, and wish to thank everyone for taking the time to join us this Sunday afternoon. Huge congratulations to all of our interactors who participated in this project, and of course to our 5 nominees who were selected for this final round and who will be featured here this afternoon. 16 Interact clubs started this environmental journey with us. And at the 3rd stage of the competition, there were 10 participating clubs, resulting in the 5 nominees for today's session. We congratulate and thank the 10 clubs that stayed the course. Lakshmi Girls Hindu College, Trinidad, Holy Faith Convent Pinal, Trinidad, St. Joseph's Convent, St. Lucia, Castries Comprehensive Secondary School, St. Lucia, Asja Girls College, Trinidad, St. Joseph's Convent, San Fernando, Trinidad, Naparima Girls High School, Trinidad, St. Benedict's College, Trinidad, and Presentation College, San Fernando, Trinidad. We also want to take a moment to thank separately Interact Layol from Martinique and the Lodge School Interact Club from Barbados, who withdrew from the competition due to their inability to substantially complete their project. We certainly acknowledge your efforts and look forward to you sharing your completed projects in due course with the entire district. Before we move into the presentations, I would like to ask that as far as possible, members turn on their cameras, keep your mics muted during presentations, and place any questions that you may have in caps in the chat box. We will endeavor to address any questions during the proceedings. We have a packed 1 hour, 15-minute session planned, and in about 6 minutes, we will have our nominee clubs present their Green Places and Happy Spaces projects. Without any further delay, I welcome the District Interact Committee member and PP Dina Bainey to introduce our 2022-2023 governor. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am elated to introduce our remarkable immediate past district governor, Leslie Ramdani, a Rotary Club Grenada East charter member established in October 1977. IDG Leslie served in all of the board portfolios in the club and is a 5-term past assistant governor for the Rotary clubs in Grenada. Our district governor is a Paul Harris Fellow +5 and a member of the Paul Harris Society. At the district level, DG Leslie served as chair in several capacities, including the Rotary Foundation Fundraising Committee and International Service. IDG Leslie obtained a BSc Honors Agricultural Science degree from the University of the West Indies and is the chairman of a family-owned hardware company, LL Ramdani and Company Limited. He has been in business for over 47 years. He has served as director on many national boards, including the Grenada Chamber of Industry and Commerce, the Grenada Solid Waste Management Company, and the Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited. DG Leslie grew up on a family-owned biodiverse farm and is passionate about the environment and sustainability. Additionally, he is enthusiastic about outdoor activities, including sport fishing, walking, and farming. Please join me in welcoming District 7030 immediate past District Governor Leslie Ramdani to the virtual podium.
Good afternoon all. Thank you so much, Dina, for that introduction. Madam Chairperson, other members of the District Interact Committee, interactors, all, good afternoon. Well, it's crunch time. We have come down to the final stages of our district environmental sustainability interact green space competition, and you 5 participants are now going to battle with each other to see who comes out champion. You know, folks, when a few years ago, when Rotary International launched the 7th area of focus, and it was named the environment, focus on the environment, I was really keenly interested in that last area of focus because of my background and because of my interest in the environment. And so when I was nominated to be a governor, I was very happy to ensure that the district onboarded the 7th area of focus, as did RI, and to insist that clubs in our district really do projects focus on the environment. And I'm so happy to know, of course, ably led by our Interact Chair, Soraya, and strongly reinforced by our district environmental chair, Matt, that these Interact clubs have taken up this challenge. You know, it's interesting to know that you young persons are so keen, despite the fact that it's a competition, you are keen to develop green spaces in your environment, and this is wonderful, and I congratulate you for that. So we look forward to what's happening later on when every Interact club will be presenting their projects, and may the best club win. So good luck, good wishes to you all. Thank you.
It is my pleasure to introduce this afternoon our Environmental Sustainability Chair, Matthew Randall. Matthew Randall is a communications consultant and entrepreneur, born and raised in the UK and based in St. Lucia for the past 20 years. He currently serves as the Environmental Sustainability Chair for District 7030 and is a member and past president of the Rotary Club of Gross Allied. Welcome, Matthew.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Protocol having been established, let me please start by thanking you for taking your time out of your Sunday to join us today. During his time as President of the United States, Barack Obama once stated that his is the first generation to feel the impact of climate change and the last generation that can do something about it. Personally, I believe that on the last part, at least, President Obama was wrong, and that not only can the generations that follow his take action on climate change, but they are already actively doing so, many of them before they even finish school. Today, we're going to see evidence of precisely this firsthand in our own district. The Green Spaces competition galvanized Interact clubs across the district with a challenge: to identify an area within their school or community and to convert it into a green space that addresses one or more issues related to sustainability, whether that be improving food security, providing a habitat for pollinators such as bees and butterflies to thrive, or simply providing a safe place within nature where fellow students or residents can escape the hustle of their daily lives and take a moment to reflect. Clubs were asked to identify an appropriate space and develop a plan for how they were going to develop it, what environmental concerns they would seek to address, how they would include their members, how they would ensure the sustainability of their project for years to come. Initial project reports were submitted to the District Interact and Environmental Sustainability teams and ranked according to their creativity, innovation, environmental impact, teamwork, and sustainability. During the presentations that you're about to see, the panel of judges will assess each club on these same objectives. I'm pleased to be able to share judging duties today with Nisha Harry, a member and past president of the Rotary Club of Felicity Charleville in Trinidad and Tobago, and Darren Sarijan, current president of the Rotary Club of Fresh in Suriname. Aside from membership of the Rotary family, the one thing all judges share is a passion for environmental stewardship in our district. I'd like to wish all competing teams the best of luck for today, and we look forward to seeing your presentations. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Protocol having been established previously. Welcome, everyone, to the final segment of the Interact Environmental Project green spaces and happy places. And indeed they were, all the projects. I just want to express on behalf of the district Interact Committee 7030 our gratitude to the 5 finalists, namely, and you heard it before, Holy Faith Convent Pinal, CCSS Castries, Asja Girls College, SJC St. Lucia, and Naparima Girls High School. We are amazed indeed, by your innovativeness and limitless potential, in creating hope for our environment in the 21st century and beyond. And, just a reminder at this point that you have 5 minutes to present, and we begin with Holy Faith Convent Pinal.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Chelsea Thomas of Holy Faith Convent Pinal, and I would be presenting on behalf of my club. I'll now be sharing my screen.
Good evening, District 7030. I am Chelsea Thomas. Welcome to the Interact News. It's just in. The EnviroClub of Holy Faith Convent Pinal has set out to transform a vacant plot of land into a garden space where students can enjoy nature's beauty. Interactors also aim to raise awareness about sustainable gardening practices. Despite facing challenges related to the lack of funding and student involvement due to a plethora of school activities, the 6-phase project was successfully completed in May 2023.
I am Rana Gomez with your green space description. The green space covers approximately 1,400 square feet and has many sustainable features that are sure to interest you. From furniture born of wood pallets to tires for papers for plant pots and seedlings, and food made from calorie rocks. This project challenged students to use their creativity to generate eco-friendly gardening solutions at no cost.
Thank you, Rowana. I am Ashley Dahu, and I will now present you with the financial report. The initial budgeted expenditure was $2,500 to cover the essential resources required for our project. Our club worked together to host a hurricane marketed towards persons in our school and community, which raised approximately $1,500. And additional capital was gained through monetary donations and resources provided by members of our community. This significantly reduced the expenditure needed, and thus, excess funds will be projected toward future goals, such as installing a water irrigation system, creating a live garden wall, and developing an atmospheric water generator. We now tune in to some eyewitness reports as the green space has progressed.
Here, at District 7030 and at HFCP, we see an opportunity and a responsibility to educate the young-minded generation and save them from an annihilation that would be detrimental to our nation. We start with herbaceous vegetation, the future of our project. With retrospect, our plans were perfect and our members were determined to become landscape architects. A second chance at life-based materials got for tires we used to arrange the flowers and herbs, and the mighty and strong pallets were made into seating, which made it quite a treat for greeting. Our mighty eco-warriors of the Interact Club of HFCP pledged to upkeep this sanctuary and make this place free from calamity. So, they toiled and toiled and toiled with a vision of greatness. Finally, our rock garden was created with the purpose of inspiring others by writing inspirational quotes on the rocks. Our interactors plowed the land and planted the seeds, shadow benny, chive, pak choy, and cauliflower galore. But that's not all. For this story is far from the end. For the future of this project is so clear. With the help of a rotarian, a better irrigation system shall be made. More plants shall join this happy garden, and those in need will benefit indeed once they are reaped.
I think that this was a very enjoyable and entertaining experience, as I got to interact with others and we got to further expand our imagination. I also think that all of us being able to unite with each other and work on this project has truly made us aware of what we are capable to do as a community who are willing to change the world.
Most memorable moments of the Green Space experience.
Well, for me, the most memorable moment for the Green Space project would be when everyone was working together. You see everyone participating, they shared, smiled, everybody was laughing and giggling, and still doing the work needed. And everybody did a lot to contribute and help out.
Why did you choose to participate?
I just participated in the Green Space project because I wanted to further my understanding and helping the environment and to purify school environments.
The Interact Club of HFCP have much to show us this evening.
It has been a pleasure providing your daily Interact news.
We hope you tune in for future broadcasts from this club because they've only just begun. Signing out, your Interact News.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Thank you very much. And now we would have CCSS Castries presenting.
Good afternoon, District Interact team, judges, and fellow interactors. My name is Stevenia Zabaptis, the president. And my name is Colin Hosel, the secretary of CCSS Interact. Today we would like to present our CCSS Interact Peace Garden. Castries Comprehensive Secondary School is found in the northwest of St. Lucia. We selected an abandoned lot near the business block in the southwest of the campus to have our green space. The objectives of this garden was to create an environmentally friendly space where students and staff alike can encounter nature and feel at peace. To create a peaceful corner where the sounds of nature influence and calm the spirit. To create a place where Green Thumb enthusiasts can show their skill and upkeep the garden. To bond interactors together by working as teams and discovering talents. This idea was the brainchild of our Interact advisor, Miss Wendy Daisy Fred. The project was divided into various phases with the hope of finally completing the project. At the beginning, we encouraged all our interactors to clear the lot with our teacher advisors and executive leading in charge. We stayed after school from 3 to 4 p.m. every day to do this. It was challenging as many students had private buses, lessons, and extracurricular activities. We also tried lunchtime for those who could not make the after-school plan. We realized that the lot was full of litter and strong weeds. It took 4 weeks to clear the first part of the lot as we only had machetes, hoes, forks, and rakes. The sun was not our friend either. Whilst this was going on, we also encouraged our members to plant herbs and ornamentals for the garden. Next, thanks to our principal, we received the donation of topsoil from the silting of rivers. We started to cover the ground with this nutritious soil to prepare for planting. This took much time and we encountered so many difficulties, rainy days, ant nests, and limited equipment. We also saved soil to combine with compost that our caretakers created at the back of the school. This was placed in the recycled tires. Our tires were collected from the waste from the school's auto room and from an automotive maintenance business. We painted the tires using waste paint collected from members' households and collected pallets from our local grocery stores. The river stones were used to create the CCSS sign, and using markers, we wrote encouraging words which we placed as decor for the cherry tree. And a marked pathway. After many tries, we finally got the CCSS sign right. We also collected seashells from the beach to create a rectangular base for the sign. Unfortunately, the number of seashells collected were not enough, and we chose to use river stones. Finally, after the weeding, painting, cleaning, and decor, we began to repot. Some of our plants were planted directly into the soil, whilst the tires contained many of our plants. The tires were not enough, so we recycled plastic bottles to temporarily host the plants. We have many herbs from basil to green onions and ornamental plants from white crown of thorns to bush alamander. On the opposite side of the drain, we will have fruit trees. So far, we have a strawberry plant, Julie mango tree, a wax apple tree, and very soon, once the land has been flattened, we will plant an orange and West Indian plum tree.
Future works. We have had some delays, but we hope that in the coming weeks we can finish our 4 concrete and 2 wooden benches. So far, we have created the form to place concrete in. However, the benches need to be cured for 2 weeks before moving to the garden. We have created 1 wooden bench out of the pallets and will be creating 1 more. We will be creating our CCSS Interact peace sign using the recycled pallets, create a gate that can be locked and installing a security camera. Lastly, a hedge will be made around the perimeter of the garden.
Maintenance of the garden. We have seen the effects of our topsoil on the garden. The weeds are threatening to cover our garden. However, we are fighting back. In addition to the Interact team removing weeds, we are in talks with our caretakers to help cut and weed the garden. We have even created a watering schedule and plan to fully hand over the garden to the school on the 50th anniversary in March 2024.
Environmental and community benefits. Upon creating our video, some of our members were brought to tears as they really saw the progress and hard work that we did to create this garden. Teachers have continued to express their pleasure and appreciation for our garden. We have teachers continuously donating plants and giving gardening advice, and also asking to help out with the weeding, etc. Some of our plants are blooming, which brings in more butterflies and bees. The butterflies continue to lay eggs all over the garden. Bees are now seen, which will help with the school's agricultural plot, which is actually next to our peace garden. We have seen less ants nests, and the herbs are acting as pest repellents.
This garden has brought together our members. During our sessions, the members often sang songs, played music, joked, laughed, and spoke about various topics that they even increased their physical activity. It has also attracted the boys who were not interested in Interact before. They were busy planting, collecting tires and pallets, and creating our CCSS sign. They are now prospects almost completed with their membership requirements.
As the lot is now cleared, students and other persons are dissuaded from littering in the area. The stacked lines of broken chairs and desks are now a topic of discussion for the administration, as it reduces the aesthetic value of the garden. As we heard previously, the club and its advisors worked hard in all aspects. We saw most of our staff and random students coming to our aid, and also some businesses immediately jumping on board. We thank them all for their support and help.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now we call and welcome Asda Girls College to present.
My name is Jordan Jaram Singh, and I am the president of EnviroClub, and I'll be presenting today. Our main aim for this project was to create a sustainable food supply involving our school community.
Asda Girls College, San Fernando introduces its Interact Club Environmental Project 2023.
Asda Girls College, San Fernando recently embarked on a new and exciting project of hydroponics. The introduction of our school's new hydroponic system marks a transformative milestone in our commitment to tackling food shortage and embracing sustainable practices. By harnessing the power of this innovative technology, we not only overcome the limitations of traditional farming methods, but also contribute significantly to our Go Green initiative. The Interact Club of Asda Girls College, San Fernando took charge in this initiative and decided to plant lettuce. We collaborated with the Interact Club of Naparima Boys College, who already had experience in this project, to ensure accurate procedure and great final results. As we embark on this exciting journey, we hope to inspire and educate our community about the immense potential of hydroponics in revolutionizing agriculture and shaping a more sustainable future. In addition to sustaining a better community, the college has decided to give the first unit of crops to charity in aid of the global problem of food shortage.
Phase 1. To begin our project, we were required to build the hydroponic system. In this photo, you can see the executive members of our Interact Club assisting in the setting up of the systems.
This is the results of our successfully built hydroponic system.
Phase 2. These are the lettuce, previously planted in soil before being washed and put into the hydroponic systems.
Here, the soil of the lettuce plants are being washed off by the Interact Club executives.
The soil of the lettuce was successfully and completely rinsed off.
A water pump was installed and the water system of the hydroponics was successfully working.
Here, the Interact executives of Astor Girls and Naparima College worked together to add each plant with clay balls to a pot and then put into the hydroponic systems.
Finally, the hydroponic system is fully supplied with lettuce plants. Here, the nutrients are being added into the hydroponic system.
What is ppm? ppm measures fertilizer concentration. Optimum ppm for lettuce is 560 to 840, ensuring healthy growth. Low ppm hampers nutrient intake and stunts plants. High ppm leads to nutrient burn, harming plants due to excess fertilizer. What is pH? pH affects nutrient availability for plants. Lettuce prefers pH 5.5 to 6.5. Low pH causes stunted growth, yellow leaves, and brown spots. High pH leads to iron deficiency as micronutrients become less soluble for plant uptake.
Finally, the hydroponic system is fully supplied with lettuce plants.
Phase 3. Students of the college and specially invited guests gathered for the unveiling of the hydroponic systems.
The ribbon was cut, symbolizing the launch of the hydroponic system.
Phase 4. Here you can see the growth of the lettuce after a few days.
Phase 5. Inventor of the hydroponic system, Mr. Ansel Bagwandine, visited the college to see the progression of the hydroponic system. He was also thanked by the Interact Club executives, Acting Principal Mrs. Razia Mohammed Pedro, Acting Vice Principal Mrs. Aliyah Marcy Mohammed, and the Interact Club leader Ms. Tisa Ramsrup for his generous donation of the hydroponic system to the college.
Phase 6. The fully grown lettuce were donated to the Gasparilla Islamic Home for Family. On behalf of the principal, staff and students at the college, we wish to express our heartfelt gratitude to Imam Hafiz Maulana Atif Majid Soleimani, spiritual guide to the college, Ministry of Education, represented by Ms. Jasmine Ramuta, School Supervisor 3, Asja Education Board, led by Haji Zainul Sarafat, Mr. Ansel Bagwandine, inventor and sponsor, Professor Roger Hussein, Shaw Foundation, Mr. Wazir Hussein, team lead of the Urbanization Committee, Haji Riaz Debadine, president of the PEA, Astor Girls College San Fernando's Alumni Association, led by Haji Nadira Khan, Ms. Yasmin Rahman Singh, retired principal, Mr. Roger Ali, principal, Naparima College, represented by Hima Jagannath, HOD, Science Department, Naparima College, Atlantic LNG, Mr. Ivan Tulsi, CNC3, and students of both colleges in making this project a success.
Think green. Start at school.
Thank you so much. And now we present SJC St. Lucia. Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone, fellow Rotaractors, interactors, and friends of Rotary. I am Zeta John, Vice President of our Interact Club at the St. Joseph's Convent in St. Lucia, alongside Zoe Allen. And this afternoon, I, well, of course, along with the aid of my colleagues, will be taking you through the phases of our journey, which led us to be one of the few here today. I will specifically be speaking on phase 1 of our project. However, as of this time, I shall introduce our presentation team, as you may see on the screen. To begin, when we first set out to take on this project upon discussion with our project committee, we all decided that we would revitalize what was said to be our peace garden at our school to actually create an environment which deserves to be described as peaceful and welcoming. We instantly noticed that a lot needed to be done as this space had not been maintained. Therefore, a lot was decided and put into work, and this afternoon, as you know, we will be taking you through these stages. Being a garden which was so badly maintained, there were many weeds and the grass had grown immensely. I mean, up to our knees, if I recall correctly. Consequently, we instantly realized that something had to be done about this before we proceeded with our great ideas. During this time, however, it was not possible to get effective work done as our as our school community, they supported us, but our school is not a technical vocational school per se, so our instructors had to attend classes and sit examinations during this time. Therefore, our interactors first came together while school was closed during the week of January 6th to dig out these unwelcome weeds and unpleasant looking grass which had taken over the garden. This also took place again on March 31st as the weeds kept growing back, which may have been as a result of the lack of experience by some of our interactors as it pertains to digging of weeds. But I believe it was also a learning experience for us all in one way or another, regardless of the tiresome hard work. Additionally, we could not have continued without the necessary tools because, as we now say within our club, as a result of this entire project, what's a woman without her tools? As a result, we hosted a few fundraisers to fund our project, one of which was an end-of-term ice cream sale at our school to purchase gardening supplies during this time. I thank you for listening. Janik Polius, another interactor, will now continue phase 1 of our project, which entails the planting of lawn grass and the watering of the grass in order to foster growth.
To begin, I would like to acknowledge some of the outside efforts that made the planting of the grass possible. I would like to express my gratitude to Mr. Kieran Lecomte, a parent, and Sister Rufina Donat, our principal, for their generous contributions to our project. This is a testament to the strong sense of community at SJC St. Lucia, and where we embody a strong spirit of family. Unfortunately, however, there was a delay in obtaining the preferred grass type, and we were then advised to select another as our initial choice would have not only required a higher level of maintenance, but also would have attracted centipedes. Additionally, as Zena indicated, our interactors were unable to assist with this part of the project. So when our grass finally arrived on March 1st, it was installed by the supplier himself. Furthermore, around that very time, we realized that we were starting to settle into the dry season. Keeping this in mind, our club made it a top priority to keep the grass and garden hydrated. Our interactors as a collective body made a special effort to maximize our garden's growth. Making use of recycled bottles such as detergent and syrup, we made a sustainable watering can to complete this job. Our lunch, break, and after-school periods were used for this job. However, some of our most dedicated interactors even came on mornings before school commenced to refresh our beautiful garden. All in all, the watering of the grass tied together phase 1 of making our green space a very happy place. And up to this day, we still continue to regularly water our beautiful peace garden. And as we have come to the end of phase 1 of our garden project, interactor Alexandra Bristol will now speak on phase 2 of it.
I am interactor Alexandra Bristol, and I will be presenting on phase 2 of our project, which we call the revitalization stage. and I will be assisted by my fellow interactor, Zeta John. The first step of phase 2 was the repairing of the pond's drainage. We were assisted by Mr. Lecourt, who repaired and replaced our drainage pipes for us. The second step of phase 2 was the cleaning. We raised funds from our very own Valentine's Day fundraiser to assist in the purchasing of cleaning and painting supplies. We received donations of painting supplies and flowers from outsiders.
Now we commence the stage part 3 of phase 2 of the revitalization of our garden. On March 31st, our interactors congregated once again as we spent the day doing the final weeding of our garden and scrubbing off our signs and benches, after which we painted. The following month, during the week of April 17th to 21st, work was not as yet completed, so our interactors came in on the Easter holidays from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. thereabouts to assist with both beautification and heavy-duty work. We cleaned the pond, painted the recycled tiles placed around our signs, planted additional flowers, as well as installed and adjusted our papers. Here ends phase 2 of our journey, and I thank you for listening. Zoe Allen, our Vice President, will now present to you on phase 3 of our garden.
Good day, everyone. Phase 3 of the Peace Garden was the groundbreaking and finishing aspect of our progress. We were finally able to wrap up the beginning factors of our project and move on to the exact vision our students had in store for our happy place. Additionally, this phase was funded by the third fundraiser, which we hosted, a Shirley Temple sale. During phase 3, we added our final coat of paint to the benches, replaced the bamboo for our stream into our pond, fixed drainage, and repainted the pond. Additionally, we made our own library, which is referred to as our happy place, from recycled microwaves and plywood, in keeping with our goal to remain sustainable. This library was an aspect of the garden which is going to be filled with books that spread positivity, and even childhood books that people in our generation nowadays have not been able to read and experience when they were younger. They get to know about stories such as Nancy Drew and Enid Blyton, for example. This was done through using our country's native tree called the masal, which means I do not know, as a result. We also added an aspect of the students' paintings from our school.
I will now be presenting on the environmental and the community benefits of our project. I am interactor Tulis August, as I said, and presenting on the environmental and community aspect. The Peace Garden Shalom, from its inception, is a place of tranquility. It is a place cherished by the countless generations of students who have graced the hallowed walls of St. Joseph's Convent. It is a favorite space, especially for morning meditations and afternoon classes. Additionally, Shalom is a safe haven for critters such as insects, frogs, and cockroaches. Our huge massive tree, the main source of shade in the garden, also provides a habitable environment for over 15 species of birds. This information was recorded by Dr. Donald Anthony, a conservation biologist. Lastly, we have ensured that many herb plants have been planted to encourage the students to stray away from sugary beverages and to consume natural herbal teas, a simple but effective way to combat childhood obesity. In summary, Shalom is a place of peace and tranquility where man and animal can coexist. This concludes our presentation on the revitalization of Shalom, our Peace Garden. We all thank you for listening. I now invite you to ask any questions that you may have.
Thank you so much. And we now welcome the final group, Naparima Girls High School, the representatives.
Good morning, everyone. Pardon me. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kirsten John.
And I am Ariana Ramhitz, and we are thrilled to be here representing the dynamic Naparima Girls High School Interact Club.
Today, we have been given the opportunity to present our environmental project for the highly esteemed Green Spaces Happy Places competition of 2023.
Within our project, two distinct systems were developed. System 1 focused on the implementation of an efficient recycling program, primarily dedicated to the reclamation of plastic 2-liter bottles, demonstrated by the picture on the right-hand side of the screen.
As a prerequisite for our project, students collected 2-liter plastic bottles, which were then prepared with precision by cutting one side and undergoing thorough cleaning and sanitation. The visual representation demonstrates how these repurposed bottles were utilized to nurture tomato seedlings in nutrient-rich soil.
Our Green and Happy Space is located adjacent to the stunning Sarah Morton Dormitory in the serene tennis court area within our school's compound. The presence of our school's logo, proudly displayed on the nearby wall, signifies our deep dedication and unwavering commitment to this project.
System 2 entails the implementation of an innovative nutrient-filled technique or NFT system, which is visually depicted in the accompanying picture. This advanced hydroponic method has been harnessed to maximize nutrient delivery and promote optimal plant growth.
For our system construction, the Interact Club members repurpose materials like PVC and steel, forming a nutrient-filled technique or NFT system. Steel served as the base for the interconnected PVC pipes, painted with red oxide for rust prevention. Netting pots filled with clay pebbles were placed along the pipes, and an aqueous solution containing essential nutrients of calcium nitrate, magnesium, and master blend was introduced. The system accompanied lettuce, celery, and scythe plants, well suited for a water-based setup.
In the first step, the soil was washed off the seedlings and they were placed in netting cups for improved nutrient absorption, as shown in the first picture. The roots were carefully extended through the holes in the cups to ensure contact with the nutrient solution in the pipes, as depicted in the picture on the far right.
After filling the netting cups with plants and pebbles, they were securely positioned into the pre-drilled holes of the PVC pipes, as depicted in the picture on the far right.
Once the NFT solution was prepared, it was carefully poured into the holes, ensuring equal liquid levels in each pipe. In a display of ingenuity, our team members cut a plastic bottle to create a makeshift funnel, which can be seen in the third picture. This resourceful technique allowed for more efficient and quicker pouring of the solution into the pipes.
Upon confirming that all the roots made contact with the solution and excess liquid was drained, our second system was successfully finalized. As a proud testament to our dedication and hard work, we are delighted to share a picture capturing the presence of our esteemed executive members and patron teacher standing alongside our final product.
Please note that our project prioritized functionality and craftsmanship, inspiring student engagement in agriculture. Donated materials and student contributions enabled cost-effective implementation. The Interact Club took responsibility for plant care and maintenance, fostering creativity and accountability. All harvested produce will benefit the school's food and nutrition classes and culinary club, reducing food expenses. We sincerely like to thank all involved in organizing this environmentally focused project.
Lastly, we have prepared a comprehensive video presentation that succinctly summarizes the entirety of our project.
for your attention. We hope that our presentation has provided you with a clear insight into our environmental project for this competition.
Thank you to all participants for those wonderful presentations. At this point, what we'll do is we're going to set up the breakout room for the judges. I believe those of you that remain, I think there were some videos that you'll be shown, and we will be back with you shortly. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead. We had said we would allocate some time for questions, so I'm just. I'll open the breakout rooms in a second. We are running a little bit behind schedule, but I think it's fair to just give opportunity for a few quick questions. Perhaps if I can start the ball rolling. For the last presentation, can you walk us very briefly through how the PVC pipes were set up? How much of that work was done by the Interact Club and how much of it was sort of prefabricated? And also perhaps what you plan to do next with your project.
So our PVC pipes were actually donated, and the entire setup, cutting the PVC pipes, everything was done by the members of the Interact Club. So, I mean, we had two different systems we had decided on, but this system that we chose to use, the PVC pipes, everything was donated, and all the work was done by members of the club. And for the future plans of this project, this was actually carried out by the current executive members. So the new executive members will invite local professionals who are well-versed in the agricultural field to hold a lecture in order to inform and promote sustainable farming at the start of the new academic year. Also, we hope to implement a roster system in which we will have members of the Interact Club who will be watering and monitoring the plants on a weekly basis.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else have any questions? I do have some others, but just to give my fellow judges or anybody else that may have any questions the opportunity to ask.
How long did the project take? When did you start and when did you finish?
Sorry, Dina, which club are you addressing your question to?
Naprima Girls High School.
We actually started preparing in November of last year, and we finished it around the middle of March this year.
Okay, I have a question for the Holy Faith Convent. You mentioned that your future plans included the installation of an atmospheric water generator and an irrigation system. Could you perhaps give us a brief idea of what that would entail? And how you would cover the cost, because I assume that's something that you need to budget for.
Hi, okay. So for the irrigation system, a tank and a pump is being donated by a Rotarian Shamala. And for the atmospheric water generator, previously the club held a curricule to which the money that was made would be going towards funding the atmospheric water generator.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions from any of the other judges or from anybody else?
I'm curious about the cost of the water generator. Do you have an idea, Chelsea?
Currently, no, I don't have a general cost, but we are hoping to make it out of like homemade materials around the house. So upon doing research, things like a heat sink from a computer, as well as computer fans, as well as copper tubings and small solar panels would be used. So I don't have the cost for you, but we are hoping to use recycled and donated items.
Okay, thank you. It seems like you're going to have many curriculums.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask SJC St. Lucia, you spoke about a native tree and your peace garden. And of course, it's a place where all would be welcome, not just students, but insects and plant life. And, you know, I just was wondering, what was your rationale for the native tree? Because, you know, it looked magnificent and wonderful. And I just wanted to know, you know, in terms of benefits, what would be the benefits of using that native tree?
So, good afternoon. And that is a wonderful question, actually. During the project and while we was in the process, our teacher in charge, Sister Natania, she gave us insights about our green space, about the garden. That's saying, like, we have a tree, it's the Masab tree, and it's an ancient story that, you know, they always used to ask, what kind of tree is this? This is not a plum tree, this is not, you know, an apple tree. So they call it the I do not know tree, which means Masab in Creole. So yes, this benefits us by giving us shade. It's not really we getting any herbs, any fruits, anything from the tree, but it just is a part of our culture. It keeps us grounded in the roots of St. Lucia, and we just get to understand, we get birds as well. Everything attracts nature in our gardens. So yes, thank you very much for your question. I hope I answered it the way that you wanted to.
You answered it beautifully. Thank you very much.
Any other questions from anybody?
Good afternoon. I have a question for the first two clubs. If we can elaborate a bit more on the environmental impact of the project.
Thanks, Darren. Which club did you address it to?
The two first ones, the Holy Faith and CCS.
Okay, so should we start with Holy Faith? Can you tell us a little bit about the environmental impact?
Yes, so the environmental impact that that was initially planned for our project would be that the garden, the crops harvested will go towards, firstly, the students in need in our school, as well as the community. So basically that's it. The garden would feed the school.
Another environmental impact is that once we started working on the garden and adding plants and stuff, we saw so many pollinators and creatures that aren't really normally there at our school, but we saw them being attracted to the plants in our garden.
Okay, thank you. And for Castries Comprehensive?
Can you repeat yourself, please?
Yes, I want to ask if you could elaborate a little bit more on the environmental impact of your project.
We have planted many herbs and flowers which attract many insects and birds, which increase the pollination of And so with this, we have seen many butterflies come in and lay eggs on the leaves and eat the leaves as well. We have also seen less ants in the garden as some of the plants act as repellents for the insects.
Thank you. Okay, anybody has any additional questions? Okay, so then I will now open the breakout room for the judges, and we will be back with you all shortly.
G'day, I'm Ian Risley. Let me thank SRAG and Rotary clubs around the world for every tree you planted this year. This has allowed Rotarians to meet my 1.2 million tree challenge and to commit to environmental sustainability. The trees you planted will provide nutritious food for humans and animals, sustainable building materials and fuel, and canopies in your urban areas to cool, reduce energy use and absorb pollution. Your trees will increase groundwater recharge, preventing runoff and soil loss. It'll create wildlife habitat, produce oxygen, use carbon dioxide and improve health, slow global warming and refresh the spirit of your communities. Coming together to plant trees, you have created valuable partnerships and connections in your community and around the world. Because of your work, the resources you've enjoyed will be available for future generations. Thanks for making a difference. And keep planting trees, even though the 2017-18 challenge has been completed. The planet thanks you, and so do I.
It's great to be out here getting some planting.
10 years down the road, once these things grow up, we're going to have a beautiful new entrance.
My little dirty hands in the dirt here as I plant this little tree is something that causes me to be connected to everybody around the world and making our planet a better place to live.
It really has been a joy to go back to some of those places 15 years later and just see how much of an impact we've made in those forests.
This helps our world, and if we don't do anything, nobody does anything, then we're not going to be here anymore.
This is a global initiative, so it's really cool to be involved globally and actually make a difference in the world and in your community.
In the short term, hanging out with other Rotarians is one of my favorite things to do. They're a bunch of neat people and you should come join us. And in the long term, I look forward to coming back here in 10 years and seeing what a beautiful park this turns into.
Hello, I am Kenneth Mugisha, the District Governor, District 9211, Uganda and Tanzania.
Let's put a break to the environmental suicide that we are steadily committing by using trees unsustainably.
We, as Rotary in Uganda and Tanzania, seek to join in reducing the waste of our forests in the Mission Green campaign.
This will be the end of one disease, but a new chapter in Rotary. A chapter where sustainability is front and center. Sustainability has become the watchword of Rotary because we want the good to last. We want our world to be better, not just here, not just for us, for everyone, for generations.
In any river, in 1 single mile, we can have between 1 to 2 metric tons of garbage that is trapped. And the purpose of doing river cleanups is to raise awareness in the community that all the garbage that we throw on the streets eventually will end up in the river. And from the river goes all the way to the ocean. I went to Puyo, Ecuador, and we're in the middle of the jungle. And our guide was saying, look, Salvador, there's absolutely no garbage here. Everything is pristine, that let's keep on going. We don't need to stop at this area. I said, stop, give me a second. In an area where there's nothing but a small bush, the size of my waist height, I went in there and every single bush had plastic bags wrapped around the trunk. In that bush, we collected a good 3 to 5 bags of garbage in that batch that looked pristine. From far, you could see that there was absolutely no garbage. But once you went in there and looked down, reached down to the bottom of the bush, every single bush had plastic bags wrapped around it. We have volunteers from all different backgrounds, firefighters, we have law enforcement, we have teachers, students from the universities, Rotaractors, Interactors, Rotarians, civilians. Many Rotary clubs in different countries participated, and together we collected over 100 metric tons of garbage. Through ASRAG and ESRAG, we continue to share that information and inspire more clubs, and eventually we may have, river cleanup projects all over the world.
So I'm asking you to be the inspiration to move Rotary from reaction to action, to take a hard look at the environmental issues that affect our health and our welfare, to do what we can to make a difference. Sustainable service means looking at everything as part of a larger system, as part of a larger global ecology. It means helping to build stronger and more resilient communities. It means doing everything that we can to make sure that the good we do now is leading to better lives tomorrow and beyond. So I'm asking you to be the inspiration in your clubs, in your districts, to show them what we can do, what we can be. To be the inspiration to your countries, to your communities, by coming together, taking action to create lasting change. I'm asking you to be the inspiration because together we will inspire the world. And I thank you for everything you're going to do to make our world a better place next year. Thank you. Thank you.
The science is clear. Climate change is happening now. It is serious and life-threatening. Humans have caused it.
We know how to fix it. The environmental tide is turning. We need to act quickly, ambitiously, and sustainably. We need to act together. Is it the truth?
Rotary International and the Rotary Foundation support addressing the causes of climate change.
Is it fair to all concerned?
Our planet, children, grandchildren, and people Rotary works hardest to serve will shoulder the consequences of our current actions. Actions to mitigate and adapt help us, future generations, and the planet.
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
Our work is already building goodwill and better friendships around the planet.
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Consider the impact of our actions and projects on today's and future generations.
SRAG has a climate roadmap. Increase our impact by reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Engage through carbon emission reduction and nature-based solutions. Expand our reach through partnerships. Adapt by aligning our investments.
Consistent with the types of climate actions that Rotary Foundation has chosen to fund through its global grant guidelines, SRAG supports Rotary's engagement to reduce greenhouse gas levels on the atmosphere by reducing emissions and increasing carbon sequestration, and to help communities build resilience to adverse climate impacts for which mitigation is not enough.
I believe we should look for a call to action, and once we see the action, hope will inevitably come.
My life, or our lives as human beings, are 100% dependent on nature.
It's crazy how much it affects us, but how much people don't recognize it and realize what it actually is. Human beings are the biggest causes of climate change. But the good thing is there's a solution, and we are part of the solution. There are a number of solutions to climate change, and we don't need to research them. They're already there. A lot of people just think we need to plant trees, but it just doesn't end there. We need to focus on change of mindset, change of mentality. If we are to start, if we are to mitigate the effects of climate change, if we are to end global warming, then we must start young. We must focus on adding curricula that is going to benefit them and the environment.
If we work together as a common family, just one family, in combating and fighting against this climate change and putting in measures then we're likely to protect our future.
Governments need to definitely increase trial allocations towards areas, sectors, ideas, ideals that are meant to tackle climate change.
We as young people should be included more and should be given a lot of chances to actually articulate our issues with regards to climate change.
We must make sure that everything we do is for climate equity and climate justice.
They need to be aware of all the affairs that are actually happening. So we need to create platforms for them so that they get to be exposed and also understand that they are also partners in driving sustainable development.
Because that's how we'll know we matter. My message to all the children, all the youth, all the adults, all the elderly, even the toddlers is you can be the change. You can be the change the world is looking for right now.
Because at the end of the day, we have a future to protect and we've got an environment to protect as well.
Climate change is an issue. In fact, it's a defining issue, and we're living at a defining moment, and we are the ones who will define how we created this revolution and how we put an end to climate change. My name is Yande Banda and I'm 15 years old.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your patience. The judges have deliberated and it was very difficult, for sure. I mean, all 5 presentations were excellent. That was the one thing we were unanimous on. Really, really great projects and excellent presentation on all counts. Before we announce the scores, just a couple of things that we did want to point out, just sort of something that we wanted to highlight for each presentation, really. So in the order that they were presented, for the Holy Faith Convent, we thought your presentation was excellent. The format of the news was really original. We liked that very much. I also liked the fact that you included your budget in there. I thought that was useful information to share. For CCSS Castries, your inclusion of the objectives that you started with, and also the fact that you covered some of the challenges that you had faced. It was useful for us to then see the obstacles you faced during the project, and also what you did to overcome them. For the ASJA Girls College, we liked the fact that you partnered with your equivalent club, the Boys Club, because they had done the similar project before, so that you were able to pull some of that information from them, perhaps learn from their experience. So I thought that was a great example of partnership outside of your own club. For SJC St. Lucia, we love the holistic approach to your project, the fact that you covered environmental aspects such as the recycling, but also that you had the inclusion of peace as an important element there, and the literacy component from the books. We really like that. For the Naparima girls, the handcrafted nature of the setup that you had was really, really creative and really innovative. So we were particularly impressed with that as well. So having said that, unfortunately, there does have to be a winner. But again, we thought all 5 projects were really, truly excellent. But we do have prizes. So to announce the top 3 clubs in ascending order. So in 3rd place, and again, just to reiterate just how close this was, the difference in points between 5th place and 1st place is just 3 points. So it was really close. So in 3rd place, with 50.67, was Naparima Girls High School. In 2nd place, with 52, was SJC St. Lucia. And in 1st place, with 53, was Holy Faith Convent Pinal. So congratulations to all, and again, all 5 clubs, and the other clubs, of course, that participated and didn't reach the finals, because those projects were equally impressive. It's just that these 5 had just that little bit of an edge. And we're grateful for all the work that you've put in on the projects. Grateful to the regional, the district interact team, of course, for leading that, and under the overall guidance of our immediate past district governor Leslie. Congratulations to you all. And yeah, if I can hand over to anybody else that wants to make any comments at this point, any of the judges or any of the district interact team. Or to PDG Leslie, of course, if you want to say anything as well.
Yeah, Matt, thanks. Well, I'm going to give some remarks. So I think we could merge them. Honestly, I like the keenness of the interactors, the clubs, for really participating in these projects. As you said, I tried to score myself, and they were very close. They were very close. I couldn't decide who should be the clear winner. And I want to congratulate all participants for taking part in this event. And I do hope that we will see more events like these in the district, because it really makes sure that we engage all our interactors into something, challenge them to do something that is worthwhile, and certainly ensuring that the environment is foremost in their mind. So it's wonderful. I can see that the girls, the club, did a lot of research. They try to use a lot of recycled material, which is wonderful. Using stuff, cutting costs, using stuff that's lying around places and so on. That's great for doing these sort of projects. All of this lends to the environmental sustainability of the projects. I see a bright future for our interactors, the way, we go about these things. Of course, kudos to Interact Chair, Soraya, for really pushing the interactors to do these things. I think Interact has had a wonderful year. I want to thank the committee for spurring them on and ensuring that we have a group of young gen who would take us forward. These are our future Rotarians, So we look forward to these when they become adults, they being Rotarians and taking charge of Rotary in the district. All in all, great participation, great participation, underscoring how important our environment is and how we must take action to support and sustain our environment. So I want to thank all participants, the group leaders, the team, the Interact Chair and her team, all participants, not only the 5 finalists, but all of the Interact clubs participated in this event. It is really something worthwhile, and I'm happy to see that I would say we are well placed where Interact is concerned. So thanks all. Matt, I know you were challenged, to really get this thing finalized, but thank you for doing it. And I think we have come to a very successful end. Everybody should be happy, and you have won your prizes. So congrats to all. I thank you.
I would just like to add my congratulations as well to everyone. Thank you to the 5 Interact clubs for presenting here this afternoon. A lot has been said already about your presentation, so nothing left to be said here. Everyone is a winner. And in keeping with what we had originally said, every Interact club here will receive an Enviro Award from the Environmental Sustainability Committee. And of course, the top 3 winners have been promised cash prizes. And so following this session, we will be reaching out to your sponsor clubs through whom your prizes will be distributed. Right, so we thank you all again for this awesome display of talents and the environmental efforts that you've made, your contributions to the district, and we look forward to working with you guys in the new Rotary year. Thank you so much. And perhaps before we close, I'd like to invite the 3 winners to just give us just a second your brief remarks on being the winners here this afternoon. So in the order of, so we can have Naparima Girls, SJC St. Lucia, and of course, Holy Faith Convent Pinal. Just 1 second. Remarks before we close. Thank you. Are you still with us? No?
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity for us to participate in this competition. And, it was a pleasure participating in this competition. And yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone from St. Joseph's Convent?
Yes.
Liana?
So
behalf of SJC St. Lucia, we would like to thank you all for this opportunity for the students to be able to get back out there, especially with the challenges of COVID last year, not being able to do much. We benefited a lot, our well-being, we made new friends, we learned to be in the garden, we had an experience with animals, as we said in our presentation. We are humbled, we are grateful, and we just wish to be part of this again, another time, do more, and continue to maintain it for our school environment. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And congratulations to the winners and everyone else. Yes, we are all winners in God's eyes.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And Holy Faith Convent Pinal, to close us out.
Okay, first of all, I want to say thank you so much to Rotary International for allowing us this opportunity to give back to our environment and community. I want to say congratulations to everyone here today. You all did such amazing work. Every single club did amazing. And I'm so proud of you all. And I hope that you continue to do stuff like this in the future. And I also want to say thank you to the interactors of my club for working so hard for these past few months, for donating and really coming together. Even members that aren't part of Interact, we hope that you join us in future activities. Thank you.
Awesome. With that, we can close out this year's 2023 Environmental Sustainability, Green Spaces, and Happy Places competition. Thank you all. Have a pleasant good evening.